Here's a retractable curtain shield in the trunk of the Model Y.
Today I've got a really short 2-minute video. I want to show you something I just added to my Juniper. I have this little trunk shield curtain that goes in here in the back. So first the unboxing, which there really isn't a whole lot to it. You got the curtain itself, then you got 4 different pieces of plastic hardware, 2 that go in the front and 2 in the back. No screws, no electricity, no bolts. It's all just clip-on, stick-on little hardware. So my launch edition Juniper came with this little back shield as it is, which is great most of the time. However, if you do need to put something in to take up this space, you have to remove it. Now, it does slide back, and I've kind of learned a little bit over time. I can actually push this back in, and it'll slide back in. And pulling it out, it likes to catch, and eventually it'll either get stuck or it comes off the rails. So like right now, I'm having trouble getting this back out, or eventually, just like it did there, kind of come off and just kind of get stuck. It just doesn't quite fit like you'd like it to, and it's really relying on just sitting on that tiny little lip. The new curtain I'll be putting in today really solves all those problems. I put these little back pieces of hardware into place first. They're just plastic with a sticky on them that are obvious where they go. So if you'll notice, there's 2 little hooks on the back side of this, almost like little U or J hooks.
These are going to be used to hook on like the outside of kind of like the hard housing of the actual vehicle itself. And both of these really fit right perfectly around to the contour of the actual vehicle. So it's really obvious, really tight fit where they go. And I'm just putting these into place until I can get the whole thing in. I went ahead and put down the back seat for the same thing. I'm just trying to line these up. And again, they fit perfectly over the contour of the actual shape of the car. So after I took this out of the package, I went ahead and lined this up, kind of put them one at a time in where they went.
Okay, so as I'm putting this in, I'm noticing that it wants to pull this way, which is fine because that's what these are sticky for. I'm just noticing now exactly where I needed to get these at, which is right here kind of on the corner. If you notice, it kind of makes this little turn. So that's probably where I'm going to go ahead and remove the tape and make it sticky. And it does look like I have plenty of slack going back. So I think I'd rather it be farther back towards the inside of the car than too far back because I don't want it like a big loop.
So once I had it pretty set where I knew I wanted it, I went ahead and pulled the backing off of this double stick tape. It's pretty good tape, actually reminded me of like a carpet tape I've used in the past, but that was pretty good. So once I pulled these off, I kind of just wedged this into place until I felt really good and really secure about it, which was really very, very simple. Okay, so now I got those in, I'm gonna go ahead and test it out. Now I don't have these back pieces glued in yet, but I want to see how it fits. Now I'm gonna go ahead and take the tape off these and put these in place. So just as I did the front brackets, went ahead and pulled these back off and now stuck them back in without that paper backing, so they're secured really good, and pull off more of that weather stripping than I needed to just because it made it a little bit easier. Again, just pulled the double stick tape off this side also. You can see here, really stuck it behind that little lip of the hard upper trim of the car, then went ahead and put the weather stripping back in place and tested it out now again. All right, so I want to talk a little bit about how much weight can go on this, but before I do, I just want to mention, I chose to get the one with the carbon fiber look. TesStudio has a bunch of different ones on their site. I like the carbon fiber because I've ordered a bunch of carbon fiber stuff that I'm going to put on the inside, which by the way, if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button so you make sure you don't miss out when I show you those future videos on what carbon fiber is going to go in the truck. But for now, this is what I got. This is not going to hold the same kind of weight that the previous little block did, but if I had like a 5-pound weight here, it's going to hold, but you see a little bit of sag. So that may be one of the downsides. You're not going to want to load this up with weight, but you could put things like paper or coats, things like that are going to fit on here just fine. The first thing it's going to do is provide you a little bit of privacy. So it's all over the news now that Teslas are being targeted. I think it's a little bit more blown out of proportion what it actually is, but nonetheless, something like this will help you hide any belongings you have in the back in case you have people peering through your windows trying to see what's going on back here. This really hides that. The benefits of this retractable curtain that I'll show you today, we'll get into, is let's say you have a big item like this wagon. Without taking anything out of the car, I can just slide it back into place and still fit a large item like this in the back and not have to remove anything and be on my way. Which I'm sure it's not a coincidence, but this is really designed perfect. Now, this is more of like a Tesla thing, that this curtain sits right that exact height, that like a standard tub you get it from a Home Depot would just slide right underneath and really fits like this little perfect snug design. As always, thanks for watching. If this at all interests you, I'll leave the link to where I got this from TesStudio down in the description below, as well as a promo code, which is just my channel name, to give you a special discount if it's something you choose to order. See you in the next one.